So in the previous video, in the previous lab, we looked at Unity's animation system, and we looked at, we can do animations in Unity now. Hooray! But there is a feature of that system that we do want to get into and want to take a look at. And I'm going to start by opening up the box opening animation. And one of the things we can do is we can do what's called animation events. Now, for this to work, I need to go back to the project one moment. On the crate, basically where the animator is, we need a script for it to reference. Now, I have the crate control script. For our purposes, I made another script to do what we want to do. And basically, it has basically 4 values that we're concerned about. Is done is a Boolean, float value that is 0, and then we have a close, an open and a close sound effect. So let's just bring up that script pretty quickly. Again, these are basically internally. There's an audio source. This is how we're going to play. So this a lot of this. If you just follow along, again for this week for this assignment, I've given you a script that you can just put on and play with and work with. So the idea is that there are 2 things that we can do. We can, one, basically play with Booleans. And so I have a is done Boolean that I'm going to play with here. The other one is that I've got a private, I've got 4 functions here that we can call. And this is a function calling with basically just says did something. I have a function call basically takes a value, and again, basically puts it in the log and sets the value. And then I have play open sound, play sound. So basically it's just playing those sound effects that we have. So these are going to be the 4 functions that we're going to bind with the animation event. So let's go back. We can now, we've got that in play, we can add a property, and here is the animation event script, and we can actually go and animate on that is done value. And we'll click not right. And then there we go. We can then, here is the animation event. We can turn that off. And then over here, we can basically like, hey, animation event. So you can see that now with that one change. So it'll be off here and all the way until it gets to the end. You can see that the value has changed. And that's what we want in terms of animation effectively. That's cool. This button right here is going to add in an event. And I can literally go to the animation event example, go to methods, and I can then basically do a function calling. So this is going basically when it starts, it's going to basically call that. We can go up, we can go to, again, go to frame 2 for our purposes here. I'll do another animation event here. Animation example, go to methods. In this case, I'm going to go to the float and we can set a value. So I'm going to do 47 because why not 47? We can go to, and so there's the value set from event. Finally, I'm going to go and basically do one more. In this case, again, going to the animation example, methods, and this is the box opening. I'm going to do the opening sound event. So different keyframes with different events. So here in this one, here is the float. Here is the open sound. Here is why would we do these events? Well, part of it is that you might do footfall. So on a character that is moving, where a foot is stepping on the ground. You could then assign an animation event to then have play a footfall sound effect on that frame. So I am going to go to my closing. And I'm going to just go to frame 2. And I'm going to again add an animation event here. Go animation event example methods, and I'm going to do play close sound. And then I'm going to go all the way over here, just 10, just for example, make a new animation event. In this case, I'm going to go to set the value from event, and I'm going to do 9001 for whatever reason. And you can see basically, I made a different value, which we can look in the editor as things play. So let's go back to the, so let's jump to the C, go and run this. Let me click this right here. So here we can see the values right now. So it's going to be 0 start off with, and I'm going to press play. It's reloading. There you go. So here you go. You can see right here. Here is that 0. I pressed
open.
You can see that it played the open sound. The console, you can see, did something, set the value in the editor, because in the console, because I wrote that, but you can also see it's here. Played the sound as well. And I can
close.
You can see value is now 2001. You can see when it ends, the Boolean is changed again.
Open. Close. Open. Close.
So it is animating too fast to see the Boolean here, but a lot of this is Boolean is that you may have, when the animation ends, you want to notify something else. It can then look at that code and then indicate, has it finished, has it not finished? So, really powerful feature, really cool feature. I hope you get, again, this is something that it's a tool in your tool chest that you'll use as you use Unity, as you learn Unity. So, all right. Good luck, everyone.